How to be yourself. People always tell us from kids, be yourself, be yourself. But how many people actually take the time out and inform us how to be ourselves? Being yourself is the path of least resistance, but it does take effort this day and age because there's so many outside influences, media, other people, etc. The first steps to being yourself is knowing what self is, knowing yourself, and not being overly influenced. Check out my video. It's a straight audio piece on the self called Who is the Self on my YouTube. Who is the Self? Now, knowing yourself, the ideas of ourself go all the way back to childhood, and we have these characteristics and traits that's embedded in us, and we think that's all we are. But a lot of these ideas are self-limiting, so you have to go beneath all the beliefs of yourself and opinions based on other people to find out the true self. The next thing you have to do is you have to stop living in the past. Everybody goes through it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has trauma, but all of these experiences doesn't make or break you. That's why my favorite approach in psychology is the solution-based therapy. It focuses on the present and future. What's wrong? How do we fix it? And let's keep it moving. The next thing you have to do is let go of negative self-talk, self-limiting beliefs. No, you got to focus on your strengths and accentuate your strengths or highlight your strengths. I'm this, I'm that, I'm smart, I'm great. Let go of the embarrassment, let go of the guilt, let go of the trauma, the failure, the mistakes, the missed opportunities, because there's another opportunity right around the corner. The next thing you have to do, and this is big, you have to stop caring about what others think. At the end of the day, most of these people you're not going to see in 5-10 years. Most of these people are not paying your bills. Most of these people really don't care about you past something to talk about. And all of these people with something negative to say is usually a reflection of themselves. Next, don't set out to please others. Say no. Don't spread yourself thin. Save your time, energy, money, and effort, because a lot of time is not worth it. You don't have to please others. They'll get over it. If they get a little upset because you said no, they will get over it, or they're not meant for you anyway. The next, we have to accept our quirks and the little weird things, little habits. Often we think the spotlight is on us, but usually people forget 5-10 an hour later of something weird we did or something stupid we said. It's not that deep. You got to relax. You got to enjoy life. You just got to be you. The next thing is express yourself to dive deeper into the self. You might write. You might keep a journal. You might do music. I do YouTube. YouTube helps me connect with other people that's like-minded, and it also helps me express myself freely. You don't have to necessarily make money off of this, but it's an outlet. It's a hobby, right? And that's what keeps the self going. Next, be open to change. Life is definitely fluid. It's not static. You don't have to be exactly the same as you were yesterday. You always can change your body, your mind, your image. You allow life to flow. I had a friend, he got divorced. He started dressing different. He started hanging in different spots, and he's family oriented. Well, his family was kind of on him. Why are you dressing like this? Who do you think you are? You done lost yourself because of the marriage. Well, not necessarily. It's like I was married and I became complacent. Now I'm single and I'm on a hunt. You get what I'm saying? So don't allow people to keep you stagnant. Don't fall asleep on the stagnant train. Be open to new experiences, new hobbies, new adventures. That's what's going to keep the spark going in life and propel you into the ever-changing self. Next, don't be scared to lose yourself. Every once in a while, we might venture out and we might lose ourselves a little bit, but recognize it and reel yourself back in due time. We all get off track. And in a new journey, you might take the wrong path sometime, but that's okay. You can still take from that experience. Next, dive into your passions and purpose. Eventually find out what gets you going. What would I do for free? How can I make money off of this skill or talent or passion or purpose? And once you get to that point, your drive becomes like never before, and your motor is always going because you're passionate about this thing. That's what's going to keep it flowing. Next, set principles. When you have principles on what you will and won't do, what you will and won't tolerate, it makes life so much easier and it cuts back on the mental traffic. Don't compete with others, compete with yourself. Life is indirectly a competition already, but the key is don't worry about other people. Don't look at them and what they got. Focus on you, strengthen the weaknesses that you want to strengthen, and strengthen the strengths and accentuate the strengths you have, and always becoming the better version of yourself, working out, eating, reading materials that stimulate your mind, on the search for spiritual growth. Always be in competition with yourself. Take a break. Be content at times, but then get back at it. Let's keep it rolling. Next, you have to find your community. If you write books, start dealing with some people who write books. If you meditate, find some people who into meditation. If you deal with animals, reptiles, whatever, find some people who deal with those types of animals. Connect with people who are a little more compatible and accepting of you or the new you or however you want to view it. So often we stuck in the past and dealing with people we already know. Deal with some new people. That's on what you want. Because often we deal with people from the past, but they got an image of you already. And if they're not open-minded, they're going to try to lock you into that past, you know. And to be honest, sometimes we act different around our boss as we do with our friends, our parents, our kids. You already like a puzzle. So it's not about always being the same. It's not about being different. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and knowing you can change at any time or present yourself however you want to and what's comfortable to you. We all influenced by others. There's nothing wrong with taking a little bit from here and taking a little bit from there, but on your own accord. Lastly, be a leader of at least one person, and that person is yourself. Yeah, you can go to this person for some spiritual advice, but have your own connection with God and let that be the strongest connection. Yeah, you can listen to a politician, but guide your own life, right? We should be a leader of at least one person, and that should be ourself. You got to know your own body better than your doctor. You got to know how to navigate life without a politician. You got to have a spiritual connection without a spiritual leader. So guide the self. Like I said, check out my piece, Who is the Self? That's why I dive into the 3 units of the self very in depth like you never heard it before. The mind, body, and spirit. Brother Z, also known as Wise Counsel, the knowledge trap. Y'all keep elevating with me.